let's go to the Fox Weather's Robert Ray right now in Fort Myers that got really clobbered, and I mean really clobbered. Robert, what does it look like today?
Neil, yes, exactly. It's a good word for it. It's a nightmare here right now. Look at this. I'm surrounded here by vessels that were in this marina, tossed around really like tinker toys, snapped in half when the wind and the surge moved in. I'm standing on top of one of the blocks of the piers, concrete that was moved in and pushed and like dominoes by this incredible surge of over 8 feet here in Fort Myers. And these boats, I have to say, you know, surrounded by debris. All this debris is floating on water, wood piles, vegetation, garbage cans, people's belongings all over. Just an incredible scene here. And 2 blocks from here, downtown Fort Myers, that took the surge as well. The historic streets turning into rushing rivers last night as the wind at its most intense between 6 and 8:30 last night. And myself and the crew, my photographer, had to try and leave this area because of the surge. Incredible. We could barely stand. My photographer literally got knocked off of his feet, and he is okay, by the way. But as we left the region and just went about 6 miles away, the debris field on the road just zigzagging through down trees and power lines as parts of roofs were coming off and hitting our vehicle. And I have to say, Neil, you know, we just went down to the barrier islands to see if we could get on to join some of those search and rescue teams and get visuals and look for hope. We could not get across the bridge at this point. They're not allowing media. You understand why. But the drive down about 10, 12 miles down there, every single side of the road full of down trees, power lines, homes with their tops off, and people putting blue tarps on, the sounds of chainsaws, Neil, and for at least a mile and a half driving through a foot of water in essentially a convoy of vehicles through that mucky water that still has not receded. There have been over 500 rescues thus far in these 2 counties today, and they are increasing as they are doing it from the air, the ground, and boat. Sanibel Island cut off. You have to have a boat to even get there as the causeway destroyed. And, you know, we know that we heard Governor DeSantis earlier talk about, you know, initially earlier today, one of the officials in this area, Lee County, said there could be hundreds of deaths. Well, he toned that down, certainly, and clarified it and said, you know, there were thousands of calls last night of people in need and needed to be rescued, and there was some sort of misinformation. We hope that this number of casualties do not increase, but this search and rescue will go on for definitely at least the next 2-3 days, Neil. And in the meantime, all of this, how do you even begin to clean up a situation like this in Fort Myers?
You know what's incredible, Robert, is how do those who are stuck there reach out? I mean, there's no power, as you said. You know, many are trapped and can't get out to even see guys like you. So of the rescues we've seen, the 500 or so rescues in the Southwest, you wonder how they're reached.
That is a great point, and you know, I thought the same thing in our drive down. We were cut off for about an hour and 45 minutes. I have 3 cell phones, Neil, and a satellite phone. The 3 cell phones did not operate at all. We could not get a live broadcast signal from the base of the bridge down leading over to the Barrier Islands, which was what we wanted to do, so we had to come back. So yes, there is no communications. The comms are down. And by the way, there's no electricity here, and there's no running water. And so, you know, and now that the sun's out, the heat is back out as well. So the conditions are simply miserable. And not only for the people who are here, you know, who stayed or are still stranded, but the first responders as well. Tough for them to get into those situations. And all the hotels around here that are packed with people that did evacuate, they're living essentially, you know, in dark rooms and hallways with no air conditioning, no water, and no power. Really people doing the best they can right now. It is a very dire situation down here in Southwest Florida, which normally is one of the prettiest places in the country.
No, you're so right about that, my friend. Robert, thank you. Robert in Fort Myers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.